Many legends speak of the danger of kitsune, the treacherous and tricky shape-shifting foxes of Japan, but there are other sides to that story. The legend of Lady Kuzunoha is one. It all starts with a man named Seimei no Yasuna. In some versions, he is an onmyoji, someone who practiced a method of divination and magic imported from Taoist China around the 7th and 8th centuries. In others, he was a simple nobleman with only family connections to the onmyoji. Regardless, he made frequent pilgrimages to the Inari shrine in the Shinoda area to pray to the kami of harvests and prosperity. On one such trip, he was walking through Shinoda Forest when a beautiful white fox vixen ran out of the woods and stopped on the path in front of him. She said she was being pursued by a hunter and begged for his help. In other versions, she had already been caught by the hunter who planned to cut out her liver, which was used in medicine at the time. Whether out of pity for her plight or his recognition that white foxes were sacred to Inari, Yasuna was moved to aid the fox. He accosted the hunter and either delayed him long enough for the fox to escape or freed her directly. Either way, this led to an altercation with the hunter, and Yasuna got the worst of it. While he lay wounded on the path, a young woman appeared out of the woods. She said her name was Kuzunoha, which meant kudzu leaf. She helped him back to his home where she cared for him until he was well on his way to recovery. After that, she visited him regularly to check on his progress. One thing, as it often does, led to another, and Yasuna and Kuzunoha fell in love and were married. This marriage eventually produced a son, Seimei, whose childhood name was Doji. Life continued happily until Seimei was about 5 years old. By then, his parents realized their son had magical abilities, which was not necessarily odd since magical skills appeared often in the Abe clan, but it was soon clear that, even by those standards, Seimei was exceptional. It was even rumored the boy could command the weaker Oni to do his bidding at the age of 5. As most of you hearing this will have already realized, Seimei's extraordinary talent with magic came from the fact that he wasn't entirely human. His mother, Kuzunoha, was that very same white fox that Yasuna had rescued years before. She knew her son's abilities in large part were inherited from her. Even so, there was no reason for her to think her secret would ever be revealed. Yet that understanding did not reckon on the abilities of her son. Accounts differ as to exactly how and when it happened. In one version, she very briefly assumed her true form while sleeping and Seimei happened to see it. In another, Kuzunoha was examining some flowers and Seimei got a glimpse of her tail. There's nothing to indicate that Seimei thought anything of that revelation, other than something along the lines of, "Mother is a fox." Isn't that interesting? Regardless, Kuzunoha understood that her secret would be revealed sooner or later, and there was no way to avoid it. She had to leave. Kuzunoha wrote a poem on a paper door in their home and departed. The poem said, "More or less, if you love me, find me in Shinoda Forest." It was only then that Yasuna realized that Kuzunoha was that very same white fox he had saved. Perhaps he wasn't an onmyoji after all, being so slow on the uptake. Or maybe he didn't really want to know. I tend to give him the benefit of the doubt, under the circumstances. Regardless, he took Seimei with him to Shinoda Forest to say goodbye, because he knew that was the reason Kuzunoha told him where to find her. Kuzunoha appeared in her true form to them then, and bestowed magical gifts of a golden box and crystal ball upon them before she left her human family forever. She also, as it is told, gave Seimei the power to understand the speech of animals. With these magical gifts, his own natural skills, and the training of Master Kamo no Tadayuki, Abe no Seimei became the greatest onmyoji of the Heian period. And today, if you happen to go to Izumi in Setsu province, you can visit the Kuzunoha Inari shrine, said to be the place where the unhappy Kuzunoha wrote her final poem of farewell.